Have you ever wondered what it would take to kill a snake so massive that one wrong move could mean becoming its next meal? Long before guns, steel, or even written history existed, ancient humans faced predators that could crush bones, stop a heartbeat in minutes, and disappear into rivers without leaving a trace. Yet somehow, they survived. Even more astonishing, they sometimes turned these terrifying creatures into dinner. Now here's the question that changes everything. How could people armed with nothing more than sharpened wooden spears, stone blades, fire, and teamwork possibly defeat a giant anaconda, one of the strongest constrictor snakes on Earth? The answer isn't just about strength. It's about intelligence. And that's exactly what made humans different. Picture a humid prehistoric rainforest. The air is thick, insects buzz endlessly, and every splash in the muddy water could signal danger. Hunters move silently, reading broken reeds, disturbed mud, and fresh drag marks that reveal a giant snake has recently passed through. Unlike modern hunters using technology, these people relied entirely on observation. Every footprint, every bent branch, every unusual bird call could mean the difference between life and death. Here's where things get even more fascinating. Ancient humans almost certainly didn't challenge a giant constrictor alone. They hunted as coordinated groups. Anthropologists studying traditional hunter-gatherer societies have found that cooperation has always been humanity's greatest weapon. Instead of overpowering dangerous animals with brute force, they created opportunities. Some hunters distracted the snake from a safe distance, while others circled behind with long, thrusting spears. Fire, loud shouting, and flying embers could force the snake away from deep water, where it was strongest, into open ground where people had a better chance. Even then, victory was never guaranteed. A giant anaconda doesn't chase prey the way a lion does. It waits. It strikes with explosive speed, wrapping powerful coils around anything it can grab. Imagine several hundred pounds of muscle tightening every second you breathe. Breaking free without help would be almost impossible. That's why teamwork wasn't optional. It was survival itself. Once the danger had finally passed, another challenge began. Feeding an entire group from such a massive animal required planning. The thick skin had to be carefully cut using razor-sharp stone flakes, a surprisingly effective technology that archaeologists have found could slice flesh almost as cleanly as modern steel. Every usable part mattered. Meat provided precious protein and fat. Skin could become useful material. Bones and teeth could be shaped into tools or ornaments. Nothing was wasted because survival left no room for wastefulness. Then came one of humanity's greatest inventions, controlled fire. Long before ovens and barbecue grills, ancient people understood that roasting meat over glowing coals made it safer to eat, easier to chew, and more flavorful. Large wooden spits or green branches could suspend thick sections of snake meat above slow-burning hardwood fires. The smell would spread through the forest, signaling not only a successful hunt, but also another day that the community had survived. Modern indigenous communities living near tropical rainforests have occasionally hunted large snakes using careful planning and teamwork, offering us valuable clues about how prehistoric people may have approached similar challenges. While we don't have direct archaeological evidence proving ancient humans specifically hunted giant anacondas in exactly this way, we do know they successfully hunted enormous and dangerous animals across the world, from mammoths to giant wild cattle. Compared with those giants, even the world's largest snake became another challenge that human intelligence eventually learned to overcome. But here's the twist most people never think about. Hunting the snake wasn't the real victory. Getting it back to camp, butchering hundreds of pounds of powerful muscle with nothing but stone tools, and roasting it before scavengers arrived was an even greater test. The fire burned for hours as families gathered around the flames. Children watched in amazement while experienced hunters carefully turned massive strips of meat over glowing coals. The smell filled the forest, not just as the scent of food, but as proof that intelligence had defeated one of nature's most feared predators. Every bite represented another week of survival, another lesson passed down, and another reason the tribe would live to see tomorrow. That is the story of early humanity. We didn't conquer the wild because we were the biggest or the strongest. We conquered it because we learned to think ahead, trust one another, and transform fear into strategy. Somewhere, thousands of years ago, A giant anaconda that once ruled the riverbank became nothing more than a meal shared around a fire. And if there's one lesson hidden in those ancient flames, it's this. The greatest weapon humans have ever possessed was never the spear. It was the mind that knew how to use it.